Hello, this is Paige Marks. I will be doing my Module 9 reflection over the assistive technologies. And the number one question that I will be going over is, first of all, my past experiences with these types of technologies. I have never personally worked with someone who is using these technologies or needed any assistance. But I did have a boy in my elementary school. I think we were in second or third grade or something like that. And he had to use a device. He wasn't able to speak, and so he was able to type out on his tablet, and it spoke out loud for him. So that's pretty much the only experience that I've had with any kind of these technologies, other than maybe a wheelchair or something like that. And I would define a assistive technology as a device or a tool that allows assistance to anyone with any kind of disability, and it helps that person to be able to function or learn better within the classroom. And one of the technologies that I thought was really interesting that we learned about in the materials that we were given to look through this module was the IntelliKeys USB video. He really explained what the device did, and I thought it was really interesting and a great tool for people to use. I really liked seeing all the details and how he put it together and why he designed it for kids who are disabled, and to be able to use that in the classroom I think is a really great thing. And it benefits students that have either a physical or a mental disability. It's got like a keypad on it, and they can use one finger pretty much to type in a message that they are needing to communicate to anybody. And then the second question is, describe the 3 out of 6 applications that was written in the article. And the first application that I wanted to talk about that was written in the article was communication, and an example that I found on a device that helps communication in the classroom that I did research and I found was a Beams interactive music system. And I thought that was really interesting, maybe in a music classroom, that could be really helpful. It just has sounds and vibrations, and you're able to communicate that way. And then the second is mobility, and the example that I found was the all-terrain knee scooter, which is different than a walker or a wheelchair, but it's a knee scooter, and so they have one knee propped up, and then they can push with the other leg. So I thought that was a cool example of another way to be able to move around. And then the third one is positioning, and I found a Best Care standing frame. And so I hadn't seen an example of the standing frame, and so it just props them up so they can stand all the way lengthways, heightways, and to be able to stand up straight, and the frame completely holds the body still. And so I thought that was unique and a different example that they had given in the article. And then thirdly, I found an additional tool that had not been covered in the module, and it's called a C-Pen reader, which is a pen scanner. And I saw in the module scanners that you can scan like documents, so like you could scan like a picture or whatever, and then it would pop up as text and you could read it. But this is an individual scanner, pen scanner, and so you just hold it over text, and the pen will read it to you out loud. It'll just speak it to you. And so It's a pen that reads printed text out loud for you. It's a handheld pen, and it helps with reading impairments or dyslexia, which I thought was really interesting and could be really helpful. And I found it on a website called Maxi Aids, and it's a website that provides all sorts of assistive tools and devices for vision impairments, physical impairments, hearing impairments. And so that's where I found my additional tool that the module did not cover.